Hi, this is Claire from Verity Papery, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made this background. So this is actually not the finished card, but I will post that soon too. Alright, so to start with this, what we're going to do is we'll take some watercolor paper, and I had tried stamping this image for a previous card and I wasn't getting a crisp image, so I couldn't use this for an actual card because I'd have this in the way, so I decided to use this as the background. So if you have things like that, so you don't have to pull out a nice clean sheet, you can use something like this. So, because the back you won't see. So what we're going to do is we're just going to spray the front with water. Just kind of prepping it. Okay, actually I'm going to move that out of the way so I don't accidentally do something with that. And I'm going to be using this Glimmer Mist by Tattered Angels. This is Sun Sisters. And you can use a bunch of different things to color this. If you want, you could use watercolor pencils and you could just color it in really quickly and then spray it with water, which might be a cool effect too. You could use the Tim Holtz Distress Inks, which would be nice, I think. I actually do use those in this project, but not for the actual background coloring. Okay, so I think that's good. I'm putting the yellow pretty much everywhere because I like to have it as the background for all the other colors. So there's the yellow. I'm going to move on to pink. This is Cherry Pink, also by Tattered Angels. And I'm just going to kind of splotch it. So just kind of put it around wherever you want. I know the whole design element about threes and stuff like that, so maybe put them in blotches of threes with a little couple dots here and there. And you can just keep going back and adding more color as you see fit. I'm just gonna do that, and then so the blue actually makes a really big impact, so that's the only thing is kind of have to be aware of that. If you don't want the blue to make such an impact, just don't grab as much of it on your brush and add more water to your brush. But I'm okay with it right now. So the only thing is I probably won't be adding any more blue because this is quite enough. I'll probably be going back in with some pink and yellow. But I kind of want to bring that blue out, blend it a little bit more. So I'm just going to go over with the brush. And this is not a very high quality brush. That's why I keep brushing all those little hairs out. So I'm just going back in with a brush that just has water in it to kind of spread that around and not make the blue so potent in this, I guess. And you can just drag it from different places and just be pretty crazy with it. So I think that's what I want to do for now. I'm gonna heat dry this, and since the cord can't actually reach this far, I don't think I'm gonna have to go out of the camera and you'll just hear me blowing it for a little bit. So be right back. Okay, so it's still wet, but it's not soaking like it was. I'm just gonna kind of do that. That didn't really help actually. But anyway, so now we're gonna take some of those stress things I was talking about, and I'm gonna actually use a paper towel instead to wipe that up, just because I don't want the back to get all wet. So there we go. Okay, so what I'm using are some actually tiny little images that come from those clear stamp sets. Usually don't ever use these, but they're really good for a project like this. What I do is instead of using the front, so this is a little flower, which you probably can't see, but if I use attach the front of the stamp to the block instead of the back like you typically would, then I get this nice little blob roundy image. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go in with some, what is this? Sponge sugar. And just add some little dots. These are kind of, I really don't know how it works. I wish I could do it on my camera, but I'm not really that good with technology. If you have, like, let's say you're, I'm not exactly sure what the term is, but like sometimes when you see pictures that are really focused on an object in the front, then the background's kind of blurry and it's got these little dots on there. So I don't know what the correct technical term is for it, so maybe I'll find that out eventually. Okay, so I'm going to be using this tumbled glass blue, but it's a little too strong for me. I don't want it to pop out too much. So I'm going to stamp it once on a scrap piece of paper and then stamp it over here. And I'm doing it pretty randomly. Just wherever I think, oops, I need a little spot. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. And now I don't actually have a yellow distress ink, so I'm using scattered straw, which is actually kind of orangish, but if I should clean that first. Okay. If I stamp it once and then come over here, it looks yellow. Not perfect, but it's better than anything else. So just random dots everywhere. It's really pretty and kind of like magical to see how it turns out. Oops, that one I forgot to stamp once. Alright, well, so I'll probably just trim that off since that's way too orangey-ish. Okay, so we got that. And I'm going to go in with a smaller stamp so I can get some of those smaller little bubbles. I'm just going to call them bubbles. And it's nice overlapping them with the other dots. Then that effect really comes out. Okay. Do a little bit over here. Okay, I'm going to go in with the blue, and like I said, I'm going to stamp it off and go in. If you really want the more powerful looking one, then, you know, just go for it. And you might even have like actual circle stamps, so you wouldn't even have to use the back. But I kind of like using this anyway because it makes me feel like I'm getting some use out of those tiny little stamps I never use. Okay, that looks good. And actually I'll just stamp it off. There. And go around with some little yellow bubbles. I feel like you don't really need to go in with as many yellow bubbles just because a lot of the background is already yellow. So I think that's pretty good right now. Actually, maybe one right there. Okay, so this is the background and you can just go with it as is. Or if you want to get a softer look for the bubbles, just spray it and the bubbles will kind of meld together. So that's pretty soaking wet. So I'm gonna go and try and dry that really quick, but it might take a while since it's pretty soaking. Okay, that. So there's the finished background. So it's kind of like in photographs where everything is all blurry and pretty and magical. So that's how you would get this right here. All right, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.